Have you ever listened to a person talk for less than a minute and known you weren't going to get along with that person? What did they say? New guy at work, first coffee break he started complaining about his ex who had full custody of the kids for some unknowable reason and also how he'd like to slash her throat with a rusty knife. Nice to meet you too, don't think he'll be taking breaks with you. It was nice of him to clear up why his wife divorced him and why he couldn't be with his kids. It's like that post on Repix from a while back where the dude was like, "I'll buy what food and drinks I want," Meredith with a picture of the fridge just full of 20 types of alcohol, some sticks of butter, and a whole chicken. I was like, damn bruh, I'm with Meredith on this one. Edit. Found at reddit.com. He deleted the picture but the comments paint a beautiful image. Found the picture. Nipost.com. I like how they just call the file reddit.jpg. It certainly is one of the Reddit pictures of all time. New guy started at my job, we were outside smoking on first break. Keep in mind I have never met nor spoken to this dude in my life. He walks up, lights up his cigarette and says, I think my severe arachnophobia has transformed into an arachnophilia. I've been watching a lot of spider hentai while masturbating. Then he began to describe his new waifu pillow he bought. Her name and his plans to marry her. I was speechless. Asked me, do you mind if smoke? Then proceeded to take out a meth pipe. This is hilarious, but yeah, nah, not pal material. New guy at work. Super fake by being overly excited and super overly comfortable with everyone in the first minute. He's all mommy this and poppy that to everyone and very overly touchy. We were almost all Hispanics there and everyone was uncomfortable. First phone call of the day, he hangs up cursing and taking it super personally that someone hung up on him. Daily occurrence in customer service. After about 6 months, I put in my 2 weeks notice solely because I couldn't work next to or with him anymore. He would also get overly gossipy and personal. My boss rejected my notice and transferred him. He couldn't stand the guy either. No one could. Duck, I had to scroll too far to see this. People who try to force best friend vibes with everyone have 100% turned out to be creeps or psychos in my life. Like. Fucking chill. We don't know each other and that's fine. We don't need inside jokes on the first day. I'm not literally your spirit animal. Always comes off so transactional. Like, if I say the friendship things, I can get what I want from anyone. No. Let it happen naturally. If we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, cool. I hate thee, if you do me this favor I'll be your best friend forever. Like, no you won't. Nothing would change except now I know I have to buy my way into a friendship with you. Hard pass. So, if I don't do it we won't be friends? Deal. I was listening to the Nexivm podcast and the clip of the founder saying he has 225 IQ. If I walked into a room and heard someone say that, it'd walk right back out. I used to brag about my IQ score. It was off of a free internet test. I was 14. I learned better. No, 14 is a good score for the IQ test, keep telling everybody about it. There are different levels to being a psychic. I'm on the purple level so I can talk to the dead. Said a new employee at my previous job. Nope. Oh, are you talking about DD? I love fantasy stuff. Damn, I wish I had said that, but the most sane thing for me at that moment was just to get up and leave the lounge. The quiet boy at school sat next to me and told me how hard he felt when he took a shit and how many times he ejaculated that way. I never sat next to him again. Are you from the UK and was the kid's name Chris? I was in a job interview once and the manager cut me off mid-sentence to jump to a weird conclusion. What do you think the performance of this algorithm would be? Me, oh, it'll be in times him. Oh, you think it's going to be in? You think it'll be in? That's ridiculous, there's no way it would just be in. Me, you gotta let me finish speaking. He then cut me off mid-sentence twice more during our conversation. We didn't get along. Dude was a total tool. I hate people who do that. They don't listen to a thing you say, like they are counting how long they have to let you talk before they can butt in with their obviously superior comments. I call that the, sorry, I wasn't listening, I was too busy thinking about what I was going to say next. They talk negatively about someone else in a very judgy way. There was this mom in my daughter's school who seemed to know everyone. She talked to me and she spoke so bad about these people. Then moments later I saw her interacting in a friendly way with those she was judging. My eyes rolled so much I could see my brain telling me not to get involved with her. And I was right, because by the time school year ends, her friends hated her and they were talking behind her back too. A girl that used to be my best friend is like this. It was the weirdest thing to see her bitch about all these people then have Insta photos up a few days later with them. I didn't notice she did this until our friendship was on the line, so I asked other people if she did this and they said yes too. Frown. That kind of betrayal hurts. I'm sorry you experienced that. Two-faced people are one of the hardest to deal with. I met one of my new colleagues at a barbecue that was being hosted by our work. I, a man, drove with another co-worker, a woman and a friend of mine, so we arrived together. When I was alone for a moment, this guy, whom I've never spoken to before, comes up next to me and says, "Yo dude, you had teen that?" Gestures to my friend. I said no, and she also has a boyfriend. He very exaggeratedly says, "Damn yada yada, he got fired 2 years later for sexually harassing an intern." I notice you're big on the phrase yada yada. You yada yada'd over the best part. Literally last night, was at a local pool comp and went to introduce myself to my second round opponent. We shake hands and his first words to me are "weak ducking handshake bro," followed by "I hope you like banter mate," then proceeded to talk shit about every aspect of my game. The worst part was he was actually good at pool, so it just seems like he was generally a cunt. Some of his other opponents got it a lot worse than I did as well. Highlight of the night was when the comp host basically yelled in his face, "Everyone in this room fucking hates you," which received a round of applause. He didn't seem to understand why that was. Just banter bro edit, ahaha. The comp is 90% regulars that are there every week. This was the guy's first time playing there. He knew no one except for the couple of mates he brought. I can assure people calling me a liar that he was universally hated. He ended up losing the final, which received more of a response than the host yelling at him, but yeah lol. I don't even know why I'm responding to this. I guess I have never had this much attention on anything I have ever shared on the internet. Hate when people use banter as a loophole for just straight up being an asshole. Just a prank bro. I hate that our boss is a chick. Bitches make the worst bosses. Lunch break of his first day on the job. You know what? I bet she's never heard it phrased that way before, and would appreciate the feedback. Why don't you tell her before you clock back in? This was over 20 years ago. He didn't work there for long, and that was far from the worst thing he ever said. He was a complete asshole and proud of it. He called himself Uncle Bully to his nephews and nieces. Meet your teacher day before my kiddo started kindergarten, and this other parent literally bragged that her kid was completely illiterate, couldn't stand being read to, and she hated reading too. As a teacher, I can tell you who my least favorite parents are every year on day one. It's not the conservative parents or liberal parents. It's not the Christians or the pagans. It's the parents who tell me they don't read, hate to read. One of the go-to questions I ask during the get-to-know-you time is if they've read anything interesting over the summer. I get parents who tell me about fun beach reads or news articles. Some have read frou-frou hippie mindfulness parenting books or spiritual self-help books. All those parents are just fine. The ones who say I don't like to read are always the hardest parents to work with. Their kids don't do homework. They look down on the academic concepts I'm trying to teach. They roll their eyes at parent meetings when I talk about the importance of experiential education or involved learning. The crossover between kids who don't take school seriously and kids with a parent that tells me they don't read or hate reading is nearly an identical group of kids. Shockingly, the kids who grow up in homes that hate literacy are difficult students to teach. My dad hates to read. But when I was a kid, he would fake enjoying it to be a good influence. He would even carry books around and pretend to read them. I thought he was insane when he finally admitted he never actually read any of the books. Honestly, it probably did make me look positively on reading, and I still love to read today. That's honestly legit amazing that he acknowledged something about himself that would reflect poorly on his kids and took direct action against it. I can't imagine something more boring than staring at a book I hate and pretending to read it and then maintaining the illusion for years. What a guy.